Yep. Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today being Tuesday, the 23rd of November or the 19th of October in the 9th year of Chongalguk. So let's begin, as always, with our bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가정맨세 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 전산세계와 대산적 지산세계의 통일을 향해 점진적 발전을 촉진할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 5. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Reverend Ito if you could offer the opening prayer.
Our beloved Heavenly Parents and the parents of heaven, us and humankind, we so appreciate this occasion that True Mother is now heading all of our providence toward the Vision 2027 and the 2022 for the special God historical moment that guiding us all of our movement and all around the world together to back to the bosom of Heavenly Parents for the 6,000 years suffering way that Heavenly Parents struggling and guiding all humanity toward this level, and the 2,000 years sent Jesus Christ for your beloved Son and prepare for such a moment that all humanity back to your side. Now we come to this rare occasion with living True Mother together. We working now for this historical moment. Please be together with us, and today's Hundoke we share through the Two Parents' word and reflect ourselves, and we make more clear vision toward our goal with True Mother. Thank you for beginning today's all our activities centering upon this Yutaka Yamada's guidance with this God, Heavenly Parents, and Two Parents' word. Thank you for beginning this with gratitude. I pray with all our heart together in the name of President Family Page Keko to report to you. Aju, Amen.
Aju, thank you. Let's offer a warm welcome as always for Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining this morning Hundoke. We really appreciate to meet each other and put our chonson and begin the day together. Today also new day. Let's offer the sincere devotion and heart and prayer, and let's begin this day. So how is your COVID cases in your each nation? Now each nation start to open the gate, right? I saw also newspaper in Australia. Almost Australia is opening the gate. So people start to go out from the country. But in the same time, I think many people is coming in from the another country. So really still many situation is happening. So we have to be aware and really have to be careful all the things. But now really society and nation and world situation is changing, how we can adjust well and also how we can deal with those situations. That is also important. Anyway, situation is changing now. We try to really our best. And today, you know this one, PCLC, Pacific Christian Leadership Conference Online Fellowship. So we will have this online fellowship today at 5 p.m. Sydney time. We are inviting the Christian clergy and also the congregation, even also our blessed families, join together and also have a fellowship. So today's topic is God's master plan, the family. So this is today's things. So we try to create this moment for kind of the comfort, the place for comforting each other or encourage or to have energy. So not only just receiving the lecture, but really share the heart, comfort each other. So we try to create this place as those occasion. So centering the topic, this time Dr. Kito give around maybe short message, 10 or 20-minute short message, and also the representative of the Christian clergy, Dr. Laos, also give around short message. And after that, each person share their own realization and reflection, and also the sharing and the question and answer. And in end of this gathering, there is also the prayer session. One pastor pray for another pastor, or one person pray for another denomination. Then really we will have a spiritual and also inspiring praise beyond the denomination and to pray together. That's why really your involvement, your concern is also important. Please also join and pray for that. And let's create this atmosphere for all over the nation and the region, and also reach to our heavenly parents and true parents. So today, this 5 p.m. Sydney time. So let's have a great time today. So Mother of Peace. Today also we will read the Mother's autobiography, Mother of Peace. Yesterday we shared about South African Providence and Summit, and also we watched the video. True Mother invested and finally offer the victory of the continental level blessing. You could see that was really great investment, right? Today finally we will go to the place of Oceania. Wow, this is really good topic for us. The heavenly unified world in Oceania. So I will read this. I wanted multiple generations of the true family to take the lead in the 2019 model course of national restoration, so they could inherit this realm of victory and help prepare the gift of 7 restored nations for Heavenly Parent and True Father. So I invited my family members to guide 2 rallies of hope as special emissaries representing the heavenly world and the earthly world. The family of Moon Hyojin, Moon Yona, and Moon Hunjin, Moon Hunsuk oversaw the events in Palau, and Moon Sonjin and Park Insop led the events in the Dominican Republic. So those summit was held in Palau and Oceania. It was actually great blessing. Of course, all providence is following, centering on the heavenly will or providence. But in the same time, those things was selected and also could be held in Oceania. Because of that, also True Mother could mention this Oceania story inside of True Mother's autobiography. So I think really this was one of the great gift, great blessing, and all our brothers and sisters and all heavenly parents investment and concern and effort is here together. So when we discussing about this summit series, middle of 2019, centering on Trumada, centering on the international headquarters, we were discussing many times in order to fulfill 7 nations restoration, national restoration, and restore the region. So each leader from the continental director or sub-regional director gathered together and discuss about even the schedule. When we think about 3 or 4 months time period, do you think 3 months or 4 months time period is longer time period or shorter period? Around 3 months or 4 months time, leader discussed all schedule try to put in within this time period. So looks like this is longer time, but when we see our realistic situation, for example, in order to invite the families, blessed families or member who are participate in the blessing, maybe its schedule should be weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday is best time. When we consider also the government situation, national situation, then those time period was also the limited. And also we have to consider how Trumada can visit, which route Trumada would visit from Korea and to each nation. So even this last 40 days period, Trumada went to Cambodia, Taiwan, and also Africa, Asia, and South America, and North America. Really, the schedule itself is not simple schedule. So really many discussion was happened before. And that time, Trumada will go by the private jet directly. So it's possible. So those discussion was happened that time. So you could see the South Africa Providence, that summit and blessing was fulfilled. Then victory celebration was December 7, right? And you know the Palau schedule started from December 9 evening. So really time was really tight. But until last minute, Trumada was planned to visit to Palau. That's why continuously we are communicating the stuff of the Trumada. So how Trumada can come, how the situation in Africa and how situation in Palau. So until last minute, Trumada and all staff was adjusting the situation. But finally, Trumada decided to send the children to South Oceania and also Central America summit. And even only Dr. Yun tried to come from Africa to Palau. That's why we are communicating. I also checking the all flight schedule from Johannesburg to Palau. But I think some of you attended to Palau. Who attended the Palau summit that time? Many of you attended to Palau, right? Yes. Yeah, that time really. Many blessed family or leaders, and also we invited the VIP from another country to Palau. So when we see the Palau flight schedule, there are not many flights. I think 4 nations from outside. One is Taiwan, one is Philippines, one is I think Guam, and one is some another country. Only maybe Korea. Only 4 flight, 4 route is going to Palau. And that time many VIP suddenly going to Palau, so almost fully booking, no seat of the airplane. So even the last moment, we are adjusting to invite Dr. Yun from Africa. But when I check around flight schedule, have to exchange the flight from Europe, went to Europe or went to Middle East or several way. One way is around 48 hours. Another route is around 72 hours. So really he at least tried to come, but even the last minutes, really could not find the good flight. So he also could not come. So the evidence that until last moment, really Trumada was supposed to come. So when I met the Yonanim and Funsungnim, and then when we discussed, when it was decided, and Yonanim said, I think just 1 day or 2 days before of the event. So to the Yonanim and Hunsunim suddenly received a call from their mother to go to Palau. So immediately Yonanim and Hunsunim decided and prepared and come to Palau. So really, Yonanim, Hunsunim, every time we are watching their initiative, right? But I think their attitude is really great. All the time, 24 hours, really prepare themselves. Even any direction come, immediately decide. There is no own schedule. There is no own kind of the own time. 24 hours. That's why even mother suddenly called to Yonanim, Hunsunim, you have to go to Palau. Immediately decided and come to Palau. So really our leaders, our really Yonanim, Hunsunim, to the children, to the family, and our to the mother, really prepare themselves always to absolute faith, obedience toward heavenly providence. So I was really surprised. Just short time period, but immediately they followed their mother's direction and came to Palau as the emissary of the Till family. So we could see that. Palau lies in the Western Pacific Ocean. It is made up on 340 beautiful islands that bring to mind God's original creation. My husband and I first visited Palau in 2005 to establish a branch of the Universal Peace Federation. I returned there in 2006 with some of my children and spoke to a large gathering. So Palau has many beautiful islands. Palau is really beautiful nation. And also the ocean is really beautiful. When we go there, we could go to the ship and also scuba diving and the swimming. There is also the Milky Way. Maybe some of you know the place. When we go there, beautiful some place between island and island. The water is calm, and also we can go into the water, and there is a white sand inside the water. So if you get the white sand to put your skin becomes smooth. So this is really beautiful place there is. So Palau, and the Palau nation itself is really concerned about environment. That's why whoever enter to Palau, in the immigration, they will ask to give a signature or pledge to protect the environment in Palau. So really Palau government itself take care and responsible about environment. When it came time to plan a First Lady Summit in 2019, we decided that Palau would be the ideal hostess nation. Palau places the mother at the center of the family, society, and traditional culture. The presidents and First Lady of Palau have actively supported our movement since 1992. I was particularly touched when Palau's First Lady came to Korea to pay her respects when my husband ascended in 2012. So when we see the all summit series in each nation, basically those summit was held centering on the head of states, president or prime minister. But how was Palau? Palau summit was actually centering on the First Lady. So even in the society, there are many kind of gathering to call the head of states. UN gathering also same, or ASEAN or South Pacific, or many gathering is also organized centering on the head of states. But how was this Palau summit? Palau summit was organized centering on First Lady. So this was called the First Lady Summit. And in the same time inaugurated International Association for First Lady for Peace. So Palau is the host nation, and also Palau nation itself is more the feminine culture or society. Is it correct? Really, the women's initiative is important in the island nation and in the Palau. And our First Lady, Mrs. Lemengesau, and also our President Lemengesau, they are accepted long time ago of the three parents. And they also attended the Divine Principle lecture. I heard that, I think it was whose time? Reverend Son's time? Or before that, already they received the Divine Principle lecture. They are accepted through mother before they became the president couples. So really, we could see all leaders' investment and foundation, and also even after they became the president couple, they continuously support our movement. And also through Father Songfa Foundation Day, the First Lady came to Korea and also support our movement. So we could see really their initiative and support is very, very great. Considering how providentially appropriate it is for women to take the lead in establishing the Pacific civilization, it is truly meaningful that the Asian Pacific First Lady Summit and Blessing Ceremony, marking the beginning of the Heavenly Unified World, was hosted in Oceania's Matriarchal Society of Palau. Nonetheless, our membership base in Palau is still somewhat small, so it was a challenge for us to host the summit and blessing ceremony there, and I am grateful to all the local members and volunteers who made it happen. So at that moment, we don't have so much membership in Palau. That's why, in order to fulfill this Palau, many leaders and our Blessed family and staff came from all over Asian Pacific regions. And at that time, there was also Cambodia Summit. So team was separated into two teams. So one group to support Cambodia Summit, one group support to Palau Summit. So I think we had prepared more than 2 months or 3 months. Some group already entered 2 months earlier or 3 months earlier. So in the Oceania, there are many teams and prepared. So I enter also earlier, and I think Reverend Stone also went to their area, and also some people, our Reverend Jeff or another brothers and sisters also enter there and prepare the summit. And also in the each nation also same, until last moment, try to invite the head of states and try to invite First Lady to bring to Palau. So it was very many investment. So, and also YLT and many young people, second generation came and also to be the support and staff. So even there were not many members or staff, but until last minutes, we have to organize the summit. We have to organize the blessing ceremony and the youth summit. It was really tough things, but really there were many cooperation. On December 9, 2019, the eve of the main event, we held a welcoming banquet for more than 300 distinguished guests from 36 nations, including His Excellency President Thomas Lemengesau Jr. and First Lady Debbie Lemengesau of Palau, 8 current and former First Ladies, the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Tonga and his wife, and parliamentarians from Bhutan and Sri Lanka. The welcoming dinner was held under a crystal clear night sky filled with stars. So this banquet was held in the beach in the resort. So together with beautiful ocean sound, we could organize the banquet. That was really beautiful atmosphere, and the president attended together, and First Lady also attended the welcoming banquet that time. In his greeting, the president said, "Though I am the president of this country, today I have come as a guest invited by my wife, the First Lady, who is the hostess of this year's summit. It was a festive and congenial gathering where every participant felt at home at that same time. It was a banquet of longing, as many participants, including the president and his wife, kindly expressed how much they had longed to see true mother. So that atmosphere was really beautiful, some kind of family atmosphere. Really, our president respect First Lady and really support First Lady totally. So when just heard his message, I was just invited my wife, First Lady, even I was president. So at that moment, really all guests was so much happy and atmosphere was really beautiful and warm and peaceful feeling. Of course, we are longing for true mother, but that moment was really beautiful. So this chapter, we are sharing about the Oceania and the Palau Summit, especially our region totally involved that time. So we could watch the video and later also I will share the event PowerPoint and also we could share those stories. So I prepared one video. This was made our staff before, so we could see the Palau event and also we can feel again. Maybe some of you had been there, we could imagine again. And some of you could not visit that place, but please feel that the beautiful island nation of Palau and also our all brothers and sisters investment. So let's watch this video together around 10 minutes. So Reverend John.
Of our First Lady, Debbie Masal, welcome to Palau.
The only difference between the Pacific and the rest of the world is that we know that women are in charge. It's about time that we kicked off a First Lady Summit, which I hope will be the first of many. We have the right partners with the Universal Peace Federation and Women's Federation for World Peace. With active chapters in more than 150 nations around the world, they have helped ensure broad representation of this regional event. And they are well equipped to spread the message of what we do here in Palau and to carry the torch for future events. I hope that will also include future First Ladies Summits. Working hand in hand with our non-governmental and faith-based organizations is the best way to accomplish our goal of a peaceful and harmonious society.
Women were not created to be assistants to men, but rather they are equal companions joining with men to form as a couple the complete image of God. This partnership between men and women, designed in heaven, is urgently needed in order to bring about a world characterized by a loving culture of peace, cooperation, and prosperity for all. Such a world we could call one family under God will endorse the proposal to establish a new association, the International Association of First Ladies for Peace. What we are embarking on is a movement that can change history. I hope that your sincere participation and deliberations during this summit will become the catalyst to realizing a peaceful world. God bless you, your families, and your nation, and Asia Pacific region. Thank you.
Ali, and welcome to the Republic of Palau, the inaugural Asia Pacific First Ladies Summit. We can unite behind common cause. To save the precious planet our children will one day inherit from us. As part of this process, my husband, President Tami Irmongsaw Jr., and I fully support the summit's proposal for the establishment of the International Association of First Ladies for Peace. And the time for action is now. Across the world, women's equality is repressing in many areas, so now more than ever, we need women's leadership and women's voices to be heard in this world. I believe that we can create a real and lasting change that will protect our planet and promote world peace.
On behalf of Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, the co-founder of the Universal Peace Federation and the Women's Federation for World Peace International, it is my great honor to welcome you and thank you for attending this historical First Ladies Asia Pacific Summit, Palau 2019. Mother Moon's love for God, our Heavenly Parent, is palpable, natural, and inborn. It is part of her original nature and the source of her inner strength. Likewise, her love for humanity runs deep and wide like the ocean. Her vision is clear and simple. In order to build a world of peace, we need to create God-centered families. I proclaim the Pacific civilization, which is the true love, cultural revolution of the heart that lives for the sake of others. The time is coming when the power of women will save the world. My wife's dream is to see all women raised as true daughters with filial hearts who can create peace at home, in our communities, in our nations, and in the world. I offer my sincere wish that this summit may become a valuable step that contributes to the settlement of the Pacific civilization centered on Heavenly Parent. And I hope to see the International Association First Ladies for Peace expand to all the countries of the world so that together, enlightened women and mothers in leadership positions can bring about lasting change and peace for all. May the love and blessing of Heavenly Parent and true parents be with you and your families and your nations. Thank you very much.
Together, we know one universal language, and that is peace.
Mother Moon, founder of this movement, she emphasized every time importance of youth. youth will make future of the nation. And Father Moon said, please become lives of the nation and the world with filial heart to God and your parents. I believe Palau can develop by youth and students. We can start this from now, from here, from today. Thank you so much. Let's give big hand to our true parents, true mothers.
Okay, thank you very much. So how was this video? Really beautiful video that time. Really, there are many story. So really, if you can share, is really beautiful. Many investment. Really sleep. Some our brother and sister sleep just one small room. Maybe 10 people or 15 people stay some small room and really prepare cook by oneself. Really organize many things. Anyway, this Palau summit 2 years ago, at that time, really we could be the part of this summit series in order to fulfill 7 nations toward 2020. And our current president couple attended blessing ceremony. I think only this is Palau. Another country, maybe one side, only president, only prime minister. But this time, Palau, current president and also first lady attended the blessing ceremony directly. This is really a great offering. So we really appreciate those investment and our true mother's love and our Hunsunim, Yonanim, and Heavenly Parents, true Father. All really love is there. So we could really appreciate. So anyway, thank you for sharing today about this Palau Summit. So tomorrow and also maybe the day after tomorrow, I will share also PowerPoint and another video. And let's really pray again and feel again and really inherit those love and investment. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. Yes, it brings back so many great memories of the time in Palau. I'm sure many people have many experiences. I wasn't there with the beginning group. I came nearer the end, and I'll be very brief. The main thing that I remember was how the First Lady at that banquet, which was on the beach, and it was many people around different tables, how she just got up and went to every table and greeted each person that was there. And I thought that was really a beautiful thing to do, really expressing the welcome as a family. So it was a great time, but many others here have many more experiences. So I'll just let others share. Okay, thank you. Yes, Greg, go ahead.
Oh yeah, good morning everyone. Reverend Yutaka asked me to go there. I think it was like a couple of months before, and we started. There's only just a handful of people at the time, and just getting all the venues and organizing. Organizing as much as we could, and it was really a feminine event. You could just really see as things were unfolding. There were Blessy and the sisters were, so important, working with the First Lady and also with the First Lady's assistant, who was a really excellent organizer. So as you could just feel from the whole event, it was really a kind of a feminine event because Palau is, of course, very feminine. But also working with the Philippine family especially was so important for that event. And to split at the end with Cambodia going on and some of our key people going there, and still so much to do. And the accommodation was an interesting thing. It was something that was changing all the time. People were coming and going, and then at the end, all the people came. And our staff, though, was living in these kind of apartments and an apartment block. And there was a brother's apartment and there was a sister's apartment. And the sisters, there was so many, like it was a 2-bedroom apartment, but there was like 10 people in there. And so when they got up in the morning, there's only one bathroom. The sisters was telling us they were showering together. Amazing, because they just couldn't handle it, with so many people. So there's a lot of behind the scenes issues connected with that. And one of the highlights for me was actually working again with Jeff. We went to Palau, way back 2004, and we started off just in one apartment. Jeff was on the floor on a mattress and I was on the bed. We just sort of Izaka was looking after us, cooking our food, and Tim and Margaret were there organizing everything. And it sort of happened again. I was there in this apartment. Jeff was sleeping next to me and it was kind of like old times, it was kind of a revival to go back to Palau and just be involved in such an important event and be working together again. It was really a highlight for me. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, there's not enough time in one day to explain all these stories, I think, as you well know. But God has prepared Palau for many years, hundreds of years before we went there. Most of the people there are Japanese descendants. There were 30,000 Japanese people living there at one time for 30 years. So the intermarriage, and there were Koreans there as well. So it's a very unique nation that God prepared. And in fact, when we went back there this time, there was no single core member there for a couple of years because Tim and Margaret had gone to America with Matt to help him and so forth, and so there'd been no one there for a couple of years, no single member. So how that could happen was just amazing. It reminded me of the days when we first joined, when everyone was sleeping on the floor in 1977 when I joined. So it was a great revival for me to go back there. Actually, it was a revival and a kind of like a new beginning for my life again, which since that time I've been more devoted. So it was just, all things were possible when we went back there. There was so much were brought to completion in Palau because Dr. Young had sent us there to build a nation, and we couldn't complete it at the time. but we were all brought back there under heaven's inspiration to be able to make this event. And even as I watched this today, just now, just so many sort of tears, I'm sure others felt that as well, seeing this amazing event that was able to be undertaken. Only God could organize. The power of God could make us to make that happen. Everybody to come there and work together from different cultures and places, in the Asia Pacific people, you know. It was just a miracle, and it just shows us that this is going to happen everywhere under heaven's guidance. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Yes, Tsuneko, go ahead.
Good morning. I just 3 weeks I stay with youth, not major. I didn't, just mobilization team with young one, and every day out. It's really hot and humid, and the rain comes down afternoon, and it's young one, you know, encouraged to go. Then I go together and see the people, local people, how reaction of this big event. But that is to know the situation on Palau. That is really to understanding the situation in the future Choniguk nation, but still foundation is very not yet. But anyway, all the young ones work harder, and also in apartments, first time not many people, but coming, and eventually kind of, you know, too crowded. But anyway, that's nice because we are used to this situation. And but anyway, towards the end, main, you know, Cambodian group will work harder too, and especially trended youth is very well organized and job done. That's really good things to see from Oceania to South Pacific Asia. It many events, and then how it works. Like in future, would be nice to be together, work with, or you know, together with young and youth and elder and leader and, you know, sort of a worker, to field worker, will be not front, but still many people underline to work harder to then. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Jacinta, go ahead. And then Seti after. Yes.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Actually, maybe Seti should go first, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to Palau. It was a time when I was just transferring from one school to another, so I couldn't go. But certainly my heart was there, and especially when I saw what Samoa was going through. Father has said that, you know, before a high mountain is a deep valley. And I really feel that Samoa went through a lot of indemnity for the success of the Palau Summit. And I know that the First Lady of Samoa really wanted to go there. At one point, she even decided that she wanted to go as a private citizen because she wasn't able to go officially as a First Lady. But at one point, we had a measles epidemic in Samoa. And it started in October, and by the middle of November, Seti can correct me if I don't have all the details correctly, but there was like a lockdown, and yeah, there were so many children between the age of 0 and 4 years who were dying altogether. It was like 80 young children died, even like 3 from one family. And this continued right up until like the middle of December, up until about Christmas. And it was so heartbreaking, you know, to see that happening. And of course, at one point, you know, the First Lady just had to stay because, you know, this was such a national tragedy for Samoa. And yeah, I think I'll stop here and let Seti continue.
Thank you, Jacinta. Go ahead, Seti.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to mention about the Women's Federation reps that went to Palau. Madeleine Fong, from one of the, early Chinese Samoan families, and also Ana Rosa Molio'o. She's the daughter-in-law of the first Women's Federation president, and she's currently the finance minister for the new government here in Samoa. Anyway, these two sisters went, they had to pay a little bit of their own way to get there, but they went and represented Samoa there. I was just taken by their testimony. I haven't heard Madeleine's testimony yet, but Ana Rosa's testimony, what moved her was, looking from the national level, she was quite amazed by the First Lady, Debbie, and just how much the mother's heart and the mother's influence of leadership is in the Palauan culture. So, yeah, she was moved by the environmental pledge that you had to make at the airport, and also she was just amazed by how much the First Lady was respected on all levels of society, and how down to earth she was. So I think about her testimony now that Ana Rosa is finance minister for this new government that we have, and so I'm sure her precious lessons from that. I'm hoping to go to those lessons as we give and take with her on the national level now. Still, the dust is settling here in Samoa. The by-elections are just finishing next week, I think, is it, Mama? And then I think finally the new government, if it continue, it looks like it will continue as the new government, then solidly we can start dealing with this new government. But I just appreciate that these ladies could go, and then they could have this wonderful experience with our event there. And I really hope that on the national level, there are lessons there that Ana Rosa can look back to and influence this nation. Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Seti. Thank you. Go ahead, Reverend Ito.
Thank you very much, all leaders. And at the First Lady Summit, I brought former First Lady of Marshall Island, Mrs. Loyak, from Marshall Island. And even same region, we spent two days to reach to Palau. And Palau, Marshall Island, FSM is like a brother or sisters because they are the same country before. Under the capital was Saipan before the independence, and with under the United States and the United Nations. So those three nations always meet together. That's why when I brought First Lady and met with Debbie Lemingesto together, they met together, and also the Marshall's First Lady was welcomed by landowner. There's a big landowner, the lady who is also owner of that event hall. The landowner of this event hall. Big lady, I forgot the name of this lady, and landowner is very powerful, even more than president. Just our region is like this, and I really felt, this same region and the former same country, and but really far, yeah. Before and in the war, Japanese era, the Palau was, Nanyo Gunto, like in capital and the office building of ruling that region in Palau. Yeah. So there's a many historical interesting story, and also the World War II very fierce battle in the Peru Island and Palau. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's time now for our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen, and we can pray together. Ju. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the PCLC fellowship if you join it. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Thanks, Tim and Margaret.
God bless.